This is a Columbia N coin-op. It looks very similar to a more common one, if you can call a coin-op machine common, the AS coin-op, which is based on the Columbia A graphophone. This one's earlier and uses the N mechanism, which is all aluminum, and actually a really pretty mechanism. When I come in for a close-up, you'll see it's an interesting looking mechanism, and the mandrel is called a bullet mandrel because of the way the end is rounded. So this machine came out in 1896. It was Columbia's first spring-driven coin-operated machine. And spring-driven was a big deal because the earlier ones used batteries, and batteries were problematic, they were messy, they didn't always work, and they were somewhat dangerous. So this was a huge leap forward as far as that. This machine back then would have cost you $50, which was quite expensive, but it actually generated money. So it was quite worth doing this. And so these would have been in all sorts of shops around the country. Why don't we come in for a close-up and take a look at it. Here's the mechanism with the lid off, and you can see it's actually a really interesting looking mechanism because most of the Columbia machines of this era or a little after were black with flowers painted on it, but this is really special. And there you can see the mandrel, the bullet style mandrel. And the way you change the cylinder is you press that and it's a drop down end gate. Clicks there, there's the coin chute, the crank, and you can see it's type N. Now that you've heard the machine, when they were being used back then in the late 1890s, early 1900s, sometimes you see them with a horn, maybe not a horn quite like this. It might have been like a 10-inch nickel-plated horn, but frequently they were used with listening tubes. And this is an old set of listening tubes, but it's missing the component that connects the sound, where the sound comes out here, and the tube. But a lot of times it would have been in an environment where it was better to use listening tubes, especially because the records weren't super loud.